Assalamualaikum. So today we would like to present about Islamic equity market. My name is Nurul Anis binti Adnan. My matric number 19BB05003. So what is the equity market? Equity market are the meeting point for buyer and seller of stock where the stock are issued and traded either through the stock exchange if they are stock of a public listed corporation or through the over-the-counter market if the stock are to be traded privately. Equity market ni membolehkan company-company untuk membiayai pelaburan ataupun untuk mereka expand mereka punya company. Going by the Sharia, equity financing would be the preferred financing or investing technique. So Islamic equity market ni has no fixed of return. Investment in a stock resemble to provision of mudarabah financing. Tapi tak semua saham yang tersenarai di Bursa Malaysia boleh diterima dari sudut pandangan Syariah. The need of the Sharia evaluation of stock and the identification of Sharia compliant stock had led to the development of Sharia filter, Sharia indices, Sharia compliant rates and ETFs and entire industry of Islamic mutual fund. So Islamic equity market ni beroperasi selari dengan conventional equity market. Okay, so we move to the history of Islamic equity market. The Muslim world has been slow to establish equity market, although there is evidence of trade association being set up in the 11th century in Cairo. Bursa saham moden yang pertama di dunia adalah Bursa Saham Uthmaniyah yang ditubuhkan pada tahun 1866. However, any company could be on the stock exchange. It does not matter if its business activity in the Sharia compliant with the inception of the modern Islamic finance industry in 1917. Since 1986, the number of equity funds has grown. Based on the Global Islamic Asset Management Report 2014, there were 1,065 Islamic funds in the world worth 56 billion USD, which is 4.7% of a global Islamic asset as at 2013. According to the Sharia Islamic Finance Gateway 2013, the United States has only 10 Islamic funds, a low number for a country which launched its first Islamic fund in 1998. But in the form of the United States, the number of innovation in the Islamic equity market have emanated. Today, the Sharia-sensitive investor has more information and access to Sharia-compliant equity investment. The use of a computer technology and information system also facilitates broader and rapid assessment of stock. Fund allows convenient investment, safe in the knowledge the investor money is being placed in a compliant stock and index, and provide more information about the state of the market.
Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Andy, and next I would like to present to all of you about our next subtopic, which is Sharia Advisory Council. It is established in May 1997 as the highest Sharia authority in Islamic finance in Malaysia. It is responsible for validating all Islamic banking and takaful products to ensure their compatibility with the Sharia principles. It also advises Bank Negara Malaysia on any Sharia issue relating to Islamic financial business or transactions of Bank Negara Malaysia, as well as other related entities. So this is the roles and functions of Sharia Advisory Council. Firstly, SSC further reinforced whereby the SSC was accorded the status of the sole authoritative body on Sharia matters pertaining to Islamic banking, takaful and Islamic finance. While the rulings of the Sharia Advisory Council shall prevail over any contradictory ruling given by a Sharia body or committee constituted in Malaysia, the court and arbitrator are also required to refer to the rulings of the SSC for any proceedings relating to Islamic financial business, and such rulings shall be binding. Okay, members of Sharia Advisory Council. It is consisting of prominent Sharia scholars, juries and market practitioners. Members of Sharia Advisory Council are qualified individuals and have vast experience in banking, finance, economics, law and application of Sharia, particularly in the areas of Islamic economics and finance. So this is the 9 members of Sharia Advisory Council. Okay.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Shamila binti Suzaimi. My matric number 19BB05005. So now, I will explain about Securities Commission or SC. What is Securities Commission? Okay, the Securities Commission Malaysia was established on 1st March 1993 under the Securities Commission Act 1993 SCA. Okay, it is a statutory body entrusted with a responsibility of regulating and systematically developing the capital market in Malaysia. Okay, if we look at SC's website, which is sc.com.my, kita boleh tengok mission kepada SC ini adalah untuk menggalakkan dan mengekalkan pasaran security dan derivatif yang adil, dan ia juga memudahcarakan pembangunan yang lebih teratur bagi pasaran modal yang inovasi dan juga berdaya saing. So, what is the functions of SC? Okay, kat sini ada beberapa function bagi Securities Commission ni. The first one is regulating all matters relating to securities and futures contract, regulating all matters relating to unit trust scheme ataupun unit scheme unit amanah, And then licensing and supervising all licensed people, ensuring proper conduct of market and institution and licensed people. Okey, selain tu, SC ni juga adalah pihak berkuasa yang meluluskan terbitan bond corporate dan juga menyelia bursa, penjelasan dan juga depository pusat. Okey, so next, mari kita kenal dengan orang-orang yang bertanggungjawab dalam Securities Commission, the board members of Securities Commission. Okey, actually the board members of the Securities Commission are appointed by our Minister of Finance, which is YB Tengku Zafrul Aziz. Okey, so ketua yang mengetuai SC ini adalah Datuk Syed Zaid Alba, which is the Executive Securities Commission, Executive Chairman of the Securities Commission Malaysia, and then followed by Datuk Zainal Zainal Abidin, which is the Deputy Chief Executive Securities Commission Malaysia, dan kemudian adalah Dr. Zunika Muhammad, the Deputy Director General Makro, Economic Planning Unit, Prime Minister Department. She is the only one woman in the board members of Securities Commission. Okay, and then followed by Ahmad Faris Rabidin, disusuli dengan Dr. Wee Ho Soon, and then the last one is Datuk Dipin Naban. Okay, this is the latest update of the board members in Securities Commission. Okay, so kalau kita boleh tengok dekat SC punya website, this is the latest board members. Okay, the latest update is 19 August 2020.
What is a Bursa Malaysia? Bursa Malaysia means a stock exchange in Malaysia where financial instruments such as equity, derivative are traded on a day-to-day basis. The Bursa Malaysia was originally known as the Singapore Stockbroker Association when it was established in the 1930s. As Singapore left from Malaysia to form its own government and currency, the Singapore Stockbroker Association evolved into a couple different forms with different names, including the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange (KLSE) until it took its current form and become the Bursa Malaysia or Malaysia Exchange. Bursa Malaysia adalah syarikat induk pertukaran yang ditubuhkan pada tahun 1976 dan disenaraikan pada tahun 2005. Ia merupakan salah satu bursa yang terbesar di Asia. Bursa Malaysia ini juga turut membantu lebih daripada 900 syarikat untuk mengumpul modal dan 50 aktiviti ekonomi. Sama ada melalui main market iaitu untuk syarikat-syarikat yang bermodal besar, its market untuk company-company baru ataupun lead market iaitu untuk upcoming SME companies. As an inclusive marketplace, Bursa Malaysia provide easy access to many investment products and services, connecting domestic and foreign market participants to all types of opportunities to help them to expand or invest with impact. Their diverse product range include equities, derivative, offshore, and Islamic asset, as well as ETF, rates, and exchange traded bonds and sukuk, which is ETBS. The role of Bursa Malaysia. The main role of the Bursa Malaysia is to give companies, government, and other group a platform to sell securities to the investing public by offering a range of exchange-related services and products. These include trading, clearing, settlement, and depository services, along with the products such as bond, equities, and derivative. Bursa Malaysia turut memastikan bahawa maklumat harga untuk perdagangan sekuriti di bursa disebarkan dengan cekap dan perdagangan itu adil dan teratur. Sebagai salah satu bursa terbesar di Asia, ia juga beroperasi di pasaran modal Islam yang menawarkan sekuriti patuh syariah menurut panduan pelaburan syariah. Bursa Malaysia maintain a website containing information on the Malaysia capital market, including online stock price, the price of listed company, announcement, trading and settlement procedure, and the details of participating companies. The website also posts publication, media release, initial public offering and investor education program. Bursa Malaysia menyediakan kemudahan dan infrastruktur untuk peningkatan modal dan pelaburan dan menguatkuasa peraturan dan undang-undang untuk memastikan pasaran yang cekap, adil, efektif dari segi kos yang mendorong kepada keyakinan para pelabur.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarah Amira Nadira binti Syarizin. My matrix number 19BB05002. Okay, today I would like to present about Sharia screenings methodology. Okay, the SAC of SC approved and update shares classified as a Sharia compliant securities is on Bursa Malaysia. Okay, the list which was updated every May and November in single year to provide investment reference for investor looking for Sharia compliant investment. Okay, now the several objective for Sharia screening methodology is to facilitate investors seeking investment in Sharia compliant shares listed on Bursa Malaysia. And then Sharia screening methodology also can promote and encourage the development of Islamic capital market and Islamic instruments. And then Sharia screening methodology are centralization of Sharia decision domestically. Okay, what is the methodology used for screenings? The SAC of SC screen list share based on the certain methodology. Okay, before 2013, SAC of SC used 4 types benchmarks, which is 5% benchmarks, 10% benchmarks, 20% benchmarks, and 25% benchmarks. But after November 2013, SAC of SE revised their Sharia screenings methodology, which is now they only use two types benchmarks, which is 5% benchmarks and 20% benchmarks. Okay, for the financial ratio debts, a company should be less than 33%. Okay, now we move to the next slide. Comparison business activities benchmark for current Sharia screenings methodology and the revised Sharia screenings methodology. Okay, for the current Sharia screenings methodology, they have four types of benchmarks. The first is 5% benchmarks, which is the business activity is conventional banking, conventional insurance, gambling, liquor and liquor related activities, pork and pork related activities, non-halal food activities, and Sharia non-compliant entertainment. The second type of benchmark is 10% benchmark. The business activity is interest income from conventional account and instruments and tobacco related. The next benchmark is 20% benchmarks, which is the business activity is rental received from Sharia non-compliant activities. The last is 25% benchmarks. The business activity is hotel and resort operations, share tradings, and stockbroking business. Okay, in November 2013, SAC of SE revised their Sharia screenings methodology. So they have only two types benchmark, which is 5% benchmarks and 20% benchmark. Saya ambil contoh company 7-Eleven, sebab company 7-Eleven memang ada jual tobacco kan. Okay, katakanlah untuk satu bulan tu, sales company 7-Eleven dalam tobacco je, just untuk tobacco sahaja RM20,000. And then, sale untuk bulan tu yang selain daripada tobacco, ialah RM100,000 untuk satu bulan. So yang RM20,000 tadi, kita perlu bahagikan dengan RM100,000 untuk keuntungan 7-Eleven pada bulan tu, and then kita darabkan dengan 100%. So jawapannya ialah 20%. So 7-Eleven classified Syariah non-compliant securities. Kenapa dia non-Syariah compliant securities? Ini sebab dia dah lebih daripada 5% yang telah ditetapkan oleh SAC dan SC. Ini adalah list yang paling latest yang saya dapat dekat Securities Commission. Yang mana yang atas tu at the top ada 12 company yang classified, yang baru je classified as Syariah compliant securities. And at the bottom, yang mana 9 company tu adalah yang baru terkeluar daripada Syariah non-compliant securities.
Okay, the statistic of securities in Bursa Malaysia. The diagram 1 shows that the statistic of overall equity market in Bursa Saham Malaysia from 2017 until 2020. Refer to diagram 3. July 2020 is the highest market capitalization with the amount RM1,183 and 82 billion, while bring 69.49% of it is Sharia based. So we can analyze that Malaysia's Islamic equity market demand are getting high day by day. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, the advantage of investing in Islamic equity funds. The firstly is transparency. So, investor in Islamic equity funds are expected the highest level of transparency because Sharia compliant securities rules in Islam do not allow any elements that is prohibited. Okay, the second advantage investing in Islamic funds is diversification. So, investing in any funds, either Islamic or conventional, that purchase asset from multiple companies can reduce the risk of losing capital when bankruptcy. Okay, the third advantage in investing in Islamic equity funds is financial screenings. A part of the screenings process for determining whether an equity asset in Sharia compliance involve considering company financials, including how much debts that companies carries. In Islamic equity funds, avoid investing in these firms that carries a very highest level of debt. Therefore, Islamic funds may be considered more conservative and slightly less risky than conventional equity funds.
So the last one is penting untuk mempunyai standard penyaringan ataupun stock purification syariah yang diselaraskan dan memungkinkan untuk mempunyai perbandingan ataupun meningkatkan credibility portfolio dan juga indeks patut syariah dalam negara. Okay? Dalam bentuk piawaian pula, piawaian ini harus dikeluarkan oleh sekumpulan sarjana yang boleh dipercayai berkaitan dengan kewangan ataupun perakaunan yang bukan sahaja di kalangan individu ataupun jawatan kuasa kecil. Ia juga harus disemak secara berkala, misalnya setiap 5 tahun. Okey. Kemudian pemeriksaan patuh syariah harus dalam konteks pelaburan tanggungjawab sosial, yakni selalu ada ruang untuk melaksanakan pertimbangan bagi memiliki perbezaan yang sesuai dengan lingkungan dan juga industri dalam negara.